let's talk about this damn clown. So Kid Rock can't seem to catch a break, but guess what? This is the Pandora's box you opened. Now you got to deal with the consequence. So you was out here trying to pass this thing off as peace and love, but it's more division, all about dividing the country instead of uniting. Because I really feel like the root of all of this, why Kid Rock and them is doing what they're doing, is because they're mad that they're not getting a spotlight at the Super Bowl. Quiet as it's kept, y'all not entertaining. Who want to sit and watch y'all just walk back and forth on the stage, sing your little honky tonk music? That is not entertaining. So if you want to take that boring county fair shit over there to what Kid Rock is doing with Tapusa, which is what he's supposed to be doing tonight, or his little festival, be my guest. But unless you give in full on spectacle like a Dolly Parton, which she's kind of under the weather right now, so I don't know if that's a good choice. Although I will say this, I did hear they're doing a Dolly Parton musical for Broadway, so I'm definitely interested to see how they're going to put all that together. But or if you're giving like something really entertaining, like a Shania Twain or whatever the case is, then because Shania Twain she's a hybrid. She does the country music, but she also it has like a sense of a pop sensibility with it. So that would work if you had a bunch of dancers and quiet as Kev. Here's a question: has Shania ever done the? I feel like she has. So if you kind of do something like that, then I could understand it. But it's just some of you country people ain't that interested, especially Kid Rock. Like, how you going to do a Super Bowl? You only got like 2 songs that people know. The biggest one being "Bar with the Bar," and that was because MTV played that damn song into the ground. So, with all that being said, let's get into this story. Now, life comes at you fast. Look how old he looks. And that's what happens when you out here hating on other communities and stuff. Look at it, aged you like rotten milk. Not even the 2% kind. Now they say life comes to you fast because it looks like Kid Rock's MAGA Music Festival has been canceled in South Carolina after a string of performers dropped out. This comes as popular band Shinedown pulls out because they didn't want to help him create further division. Because he'll be into he trying to unite the people, but I'm like, no, this is you trying to divide the country, especially when you sucking on Trump's shitty diaper the way you be sucking on it. So the multi-city festival was scheduled to run for 2 days per venue in 8 U.S. states from May 1st to this September 21st. However, it stopped in Anderson, South Carolina, which was scheduled for July 25th and 26th, will no longer take place, County Administrator Rusty Barnes told Fox Carolina, saying, quote, Anderson County has been proud to host Rock the Country for the past 2 years. The event was a huge success, drawing tens of thousands of visitors, making a multi-million-dollar economic impact on the upstate. An event of this caliber proved what a great venue and exceptional hospitality we have here in Anderson County. Of course, we are disappointed that Rock the Country will not return to Anderson this year. We are already planning additional major events that look forward to exciting announcements to come. Anderson County is committed to bringing high quality arts and entertainment to our community. And look, you can do whatever you want. You can hold your little shows, whatever the case is, where it is, but maybe down to people in South Carolina because of all the big names is dropping out. Ticket sales has been diminishing. And when you don't have a lot of people that want to stand up and do this show, then yeah, you're going to lose it. So now I wonder, because they're dropping out of South Carolina, where is who's going to be on the bills in these other states? So does that mean that they've done in total, or are they going to find more people to come on? I don't know if they're actually going to be able to find more people because they have Creed is performing, Brantley Gilbert, who I think is also Brantley, I believe, is performing at that Tapusa event tonight. Then you got Morgan Wade. Wasn't she eating Kyle Richards' box at one point? Then you got Gretchen Wilson, who that lady, where they find her hillbilly looking ass at? She been missing in action for almost, it seemed like 15 years. Then they had Lakeview, Hayden Blount, a bunch of people I ain't never heard of. But then I know a lot of people was dragging Ludacris, but then Ludacris, Shaka Zulu, who was a part of Ludacris's camp, said that he was never a part of the situation. So I don't know who to believe. I just don't understand like how these rappers is jumping on these bills with these bigoted white folks and these racists when it's like all of this is temporary. When I don't understand, like, okay, if you are a rapper from the 90s and the 2000s, why don't y'all do like what all these other people do? Like LL Cool J, when he had a bunch of rappers on a bill and y'all just travel together and do a tour. Why y'all can't, like Ludacris, and I would even say Nelly, but Nelly a damn coon. But it was like Ludacris, Nelly, all the rappers that came out, like I was gonna say Lil Jon, but shout out to Lil Jon because I just heard his son passed away. And a lot of the iconic rappers from back in the day, like Cameron and I would even say 50 Cent. Like just a couple of the rappers from like the 90s and the 2000s all get together and do a tour. Like, why don't y'all just do that instead of jumping on this shit? I mean, who do y'all even know that these people in this group actually listen to that? Excuse me, listen to that music. So they said those who purchase tickets can either transfer them to another Rock the Country stop and receive a $50 merchandise voucher to use it on site, or request a full refund by completing a form sent via email. The Anderson lineup originally featured Kid Rock and Jason Aldean as headliners, plus Creed, Shinedown, Brantley Gilbert, Ludacris, Gretchen Wilson, Parma Lee, Morgan Wade, Chase Matthew, Lakeview, Fox and Veed, and more. However, rock band Shinedown announced their exit via a social media statement on Friday, saying, "Shinedown is everyone's band. We feel that we have been given a platform to bring all people together through the power of music and song." And those are the type of bands that I like, are the ones who are like, you know what? We love everyone. We recommend everyone. We're not divisive. We're not over here trying to be like, well, we only want a bunch of bigoted, racist, incel assholes, and then the rest of y'all can go figure out who y'all like. And shout out to Wes Borland, who is one of the guitarists over at Limp Bizkit, who went and put out a whole birthday thing, was like F Ice and all this other stuff. So, he's been showing his support for everybody who's been going through all the things they're going through. Y'all got to get on the right side of history. And never in my lifetime that I feel like that I would be living through a historical moment. But I feel like I've been living through many historical moments. I lived through 9/11, me being in New York. Then we're dealing with this current administration, all the things that they're doing. We're living through a whole genocide of people in Gaza and the Congo and so many other things. Like, I never thought in like I would be living through a time where all of this stuff will be, if people are smart enough to do it right and don't try to whitewash it as they usually do, put real history that's going to be in future history books for kids long after I'm gone from this earth, we'll be reading about. So it's crazy. I never thought in my lifetime I'd be living through many historical moments. So they said also, we have one boss, and it is everyone in the audience. Our band's purpose is to unite, not divide. With that in mind, we have made a decision that we will not be playing the Rock the Country Festival. Now, acknowledging the decision will create differences of opinion. We do not want to participate in something we believe will create further division. So yeah, while Kid Rock running around here telling this lie that they trying to unite the people, Shinedown basically said they're not going to be playing an event that's going to create further division. So it's the opposite of what Kid Rock is running around here lying to the people and telling them. And he said, to our fans, thank you for supporting and believing in us. We love and appreciate you always. The band statement came after Ludacris also dropped off the bill. A rep for the rapper told Rolling Stone at the time, as I mentioned, Shaka Zulu, that there had been a mix-up and the lines got crossed and he wasn't supposed to be on there. Likewise, country musicians. Okay, so Morgan Wade did leave. So I was like, girl, I you a whole lesbian running up in here being a part of this whole. Oh, they said, oh yeah, it was Morgan Wade, because I was getting Morgan Wade and Morgan Wallen confused. Morgan Wallen ain't dropping on, because we know he an alcoholic and a damn racist. So he would have been, if he was asked, he would have did it. Or maybe he was asked and was like, y'all below my pay grade. So yeah, so Morgan Wade and Carter Faith, the Christian-inspired rock band Creed. Oh, so Creed did drop it. Okay, so I'm glad, because I was like, wait, what happened to all the other people? So yeah, Creed dropped out. And I saw Creed live because I worked their show. They're actually good. The Independent basically has contacted Rock the Country. They haven't responded. And they called it as more than just a festival. The website said it's a celebration of, that this is laughable, community, tradition, and the spirit that's carried America through 250 years. You mean slavery? Because when they talk about, because what does it say on the bill? Hold on. It said, Wait a minute, it was in there. They said a festival for all the people, which we know is a lot, celebrating 250 years of freedom. Freedom for who? Because I'm like, it wasn't free for a lot of people if you weren't white and a man. Like it wasn't good for the time wasn't good for women either. So, with all this being said, we already know Kid Rock is a loser, a clown, and a hypocrite who just mad that bigoted country performers aren't getting invited to sit at the cool kids table. So he had to go and create this event. Well, this event's always been around, but he had to go create this whole Tapusa event that's supposed to be rivaling Bad Bunny's, which we already know. Probably 10 of y'all gonna watch that, and then hundreds of millions of people y'all gonna be watching the halftime special tonight. So while Bad Bunny, will be given a historical halftime performance, Kid Rock Head and the other Z-listed nobodies performing alongside him will be given county fair teas. This is also the same man, lest we forget, who recorded a song with Joe C for the Osmosis Jones soundtrack promoting sex with underage girls. This is the same person who did a segment on SNL back in the day with Tina Fey and Jimmy Fallon making a sex joke about the Olsen twins, which if you go and look that up, the stuff, if you Google Schmoogle, it is the story about it is up there. However, the video that was a part of that has been scrubbed. So you can't find the video, but you can find the transcripts of everything of what went down with that episode. This is also the same man who closed a steakhouse in Tennessee last year so that his restaurant wouldn't be raided by ICE. So, Mr. Family Values, miss me with your fake outrage regarding Bad Bunny. Also, fuck ICE. So, we got that. And last but certainly not least, because I was like, should I even combine all of this? But I will. Let's talk about The View. So, they were talking about the whole thing with Kid Rock and Bad Bunny and all this other stuff on The View, and Sunny Hostin went in. So shout out to her because we got her situation. So, a lot of the co-hosts, they had a lot to say about the Bad Bunny backlash and alternate programming option that came along with those who are going to sit up there and talk about they're not going to watch the halftime special. We know y'all are lying. You're going to hate watch it. Especially faux news, they're going to sit up there and hate watch it, and they're going to spew all their bigotry and all their BS and lie to you because everything about faux news is a damn lie. So The View co-host Sunny Hostin has slammed Kid Rock over the recording artist Bad Bunny criticism ahead of Sunday's Super Bowl halftime show, particularly calling out Kid Rock's problematic lyrics and liking underage girls, which is what I referred to earlier in the last segment. So now, days before the Puerto Rican Grammy winner takes the largest stage in pop culture, the View panel addressed Turning Point USA, or as I like to call, Tapusa for short, mounting of a Kid Rock starring All-American halftime show aimed at counter-programming Bad Bunny's weekend set. Tell me you're not pressed, but I'll tell me you're not pressed. He is definitely pressed over this. Press. Speaking sidebar, I hope they actually bring Cardi B out to perform alongside him since her man is performing tonight in the Super Bowl. Saying Puerto Ricans are American citizens because Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States. All Puerto Ricans born in Puerto Rico are here on the mainland are American citizens. This is what she said, taking issue with the Turning Point event's name. Also, Bad Bunny, while he speaks Spanish, as Ana Navarro does, as I do, we're all American, she said, turning toward her co-host. Hostin then said she felt the conservative criticism over Bad Bunny's decision to perform Spanish language songs at the Super Bowl represents just racism, pure and simple, before shifting her attention to Kid Rock's lyrics from the past. She said, I'd like to point out, and which is what I pointed out, some of Kid Rock's American lyrics. Hostin said before reading a portion of Kid Rock's Osmosis Jones song titled Cool Daddy Cool, which appeared on the soundtrack to the 2001 Warner Brothers animated film. So yeah, you got some guy up here promoting sex with underage girls on a soundtrack, an animated film geared towards children. But y'all want to talk about family values. Miss me with the bullshit. So she said it includes the following lyrics about underage girls. Young ladies, I like them underage. See, some say that's statutory, but I say it's mandatory. She finished telling Rock, so if that's more American, go for it. Now, I like to point out some, wait, hold on. I just realized the same thing as the answer. Then they said Kid Rock previously criticized Bad Bunny's upcoming Super Bowl show, saying he said he's having a dance party, wearing a dress and singing in Spanish. Cool. We plan to play great songs for folks who love America. Well, clearly you don't love America because if this is what you putting up in here, I was like, you don't love America, because if you did, you wouldn't be saying all the stuff that you're saying and trying to pass your tired ass music on to people, because you ain't been relevant in like almost 2 decades. Like, you have to go to a small little part of America for for you to even make any kind of money. You can't come to New York City and sell out the theater at Madison Square Garden, and the theater houses 3,000 people. You couldn't sell that out. Not in New York. You can't even sell out Madison Square Garden on your own. So, the world's most famous arena. So, you ain't that boy, sir. Bad Bunny doesn't even do arenas. He's sold out multiple nights at Yankee Stadium. He does stadium shows. While you're over here bickering and bitching because your career isn't where his is. And that's because he's showing up as his authentic self. And you've been a fraud since day one. So then Alyssa went on and said, first and foremost, it's a business decision by the NFL. I guess this might be the most watched. Listen, people want the rage bait. They want the engagement online. But at the end of the day, Kid Rock is a very average artist who has mostly kind of gone past his prime. Average might be generous. And absolutely, they read his ass down, because I'm like, when I was coming up in the era of rap rock, Kid Rock was not one of the people. Yeah, they were pushing him out there and trying to make him this thing, but he never was on the same level as the bands that I listened to, which would be Slipknot, Limp Bizkit, Korn. What's the name of the band that Jacoby Shaddix was in? um, when you had Stain and so many other bands that kind of had that whole rap rock sound. Like, he was never that artist that I listen to. I like Incubus. Damn, who was the band that sang Youth of a Nation? I'm starting to forget names and stuff up in here. So he was never on that same caliber of rap rock artist. I don't know why I'm forgetting. It's an American singer, songwriter, and rapper. What was the name of the band? Oh damn, he's 49. Papa Roach. I was a big Papa Roach fan. Cut my life in two pieces. This is my last resort. And what was the other band I said? But they were more like a Christian rock band, because they had a song in the Matrix too. So but yeah. So shout out to you all over there at the View for throwing the shade. I want to see if anybody else said anything else. And you know what? I totally understand like why, and it's unfortunate. I really wish that Bad Bunny would have toured the United States with his latest album. But I'm glad you did the residency. He made the tickets more affordable for a lot of his fans to come to Puerto Rico and see the show, which is what I said. That if Bad Bunny could pull that off with his fans for the residency, that there's no excuse why a lot of you celebrities, Gaga and the like, are charging people, and Harry Styles are charging people $3,000 per seat for a floor ticket. Like, y'all could bring them prices down, but I feel like y'all choose to be greedy. Now, if Bad Bunny has the power to actually bring those prices down, y'all, there's no excuse for the rest of y'all. So yeah, Kid Rock, you wanted the attention, you're getting it, and you're just some average has-been wannabe rapper musician who never really cut it. You were just okay. You were never that guy. I never particularly cared for you when you were all over MTV and TRL back in the day when they kept trying to shove you down our throat. I was never really a big fan of you. So you will just have to see what those numbers are for this little event that you have going on, because we already know that numbers is going to be worse than your numbers aren't even going to come to a smidgen. Not even, I don't even think 10% you're going to be able to capture of what Bad Bunny is going to be accumulating tonight over on network television while he's performing his Super Bowl halftime. So stay mad, maggots. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story regarding his little festival getting canceled in South Carolina, as well as what Sunny Hostin and the ladies of the View had to say about Kid Rock? So he wants to sit up here and question the things that Bad Bunny is saying and what his music's about, him wearing a dress. So fucking what? It's an outfit. Dresses are, it's part of clothes. Back in the day when men would wear heels and like dress type outfits and actually had a little weight on you, even the women, it showed your wealth in a lot of what you wore. So when people try to flip it around and make it all about gender things, when education is your friend, that's what I'm just like, I can't, I'm not gonna no longer engage with people, low hanging fruit, people who aren't the brightest, people who have no kind of educational anything. If you choose to be stupid, that's just a choice that you're at this point. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.